Hello Internet, Taliesin here, and today, once again, we are talking music. That thing that essentially died the day this happened.
I just killed a man.
But for the next 10 minutes or so, let's pretend that that never happened and that music isn't dead and finish our countdown of the top 10 best pieces of music in World of Warcraft. Last episode, we looked at numbers 10 through 6, and there were tears, there were tantrums, and there were arguments. It was like bedtime at Christian Bale's house.
And rip that, no, shut the fuck up, Bruce. Do I want, no! No!
Which brings us now to the top 5, and before we get into this, let me mention a couple of tracks that aren't in this list. Way of the Monk is not in this list. The awesome Argent Tournament music is not in the top 5, which genuinely breaks my heart. There is no Breath of Alakia, no Tavern music. Mulgore isn't in this list. Well, fucking seriously. See, the problem is, this list is like an X-Men movie. There is just so much amazing choice that inevitably some really, really good ones are going to get unfairly ignored. And I'm looking at you, Jubilee. But what I can promise is that every single track in this video is an absolute blinder. So whack on your headphones, sit back, and enjoy. Okay, go. Invincible is the music that most perfectly encapsulates possibly the all-time golden age of World of Warcraft. Wrath of the Lich King was the expansion that saw more people playing the game than ever before or since. It was the culmination of the most involved and popular storyline in the history of the game, the tragic tale of Arthas and his descent into becoming the Lich King. It's almost impossible to describe now how much this character or this music means to so many people, so I'm not even going to try. But with regards to the track itself, debate still rages as to whether the lyrics of the song are about Arthas, or, as the title suggests, his noble steed, Invincible, loyal to him in both life and death. The lyrics of the song go thus: "O steed, my stalwart companion, I mourn your loss." Which does sort of answer the question about who it's about. Well, the only other question is, if his horse really is invincible, how come I can see it? And that joke is a little bit ironic, actually, considering I haven't seen a whisker of Invincible in 6 years of farming that fucker. Now, it would feel wrong not to include at least one login screen in the top 10, seeing as it is the music you hear most, playing literally every time you enter the game, alongside that nagging voice in your head suggesting that it's just possible you're wasting your life. Just shut up, nagging voice. I've told you before, there are world quests to do. I'll do the PhD after the world quests, alright? Over the years, Blizzard's composers have done amazing work in creating new interpretations of this familiar theme, and it's pretty important they get it right, isn't it? Because whatever happens, you are stuck with it for the next 2 years. So we've had the classic, the bombastic, the ominous, the majestic, the savage, and the truly epic, but nothing tops the pure, balls-out, crazy mental of the Cataclysm login screen. This is music, after all, that's been written to accompany the destruction of the old world by a huge-ass dragon, and it fits perfectly. Where the Cataclysm login music really shines is where it goes to next, especially the variation on the Ulduar theme and this bit, which we're going to play you next. Now, for better or for worse, Cataclysm won't be remembered as one of the classic WoW expansions, although I think that's a bit unfair, to be honest. It gave us some of the best quests ever created, not least of all, gnome bowling. Never underestimate the importance of gnome bowling, okay? But as usual, the music was absolutely top drawer. It's something you can never, ever fault enjoying. At number 3, we have a tie, a dead heat between the Barrens and Elwyn Forest. Both are quite similar thematically and represent the same stage of the game for Horde and Alliance players, and both are guaranteed to whisk you back to a much more innocent and rose-tinted time of leveling starter accounts up to level 20 and then beginning again all over from scratch. Seriously, that Warcraft shit is like $10 a month and I'm 12. Where am I going to get $10 a month? Fuck you, mum. But no matter when you started playing this game, chances are you've spent many formative hours in one of these two zones, and this music is always going to take you back to a certain stage of your Warcraft and actual life. I know people who have resubbed to WoW after years away simply because they listened to the Elwyn Forest music again one day. It's that evocative, that powerful. And the bad news is that golden age is in the past. You're never going back to college, and WoW will never be that new or wondrous ever again. But the good news is that you can recreate that golden time by unbinding all your buttons, setting your max FPS to 24, equipping cloth armor on your hunter, never using a mount, mailing all your laundry back home, and eating cereal and gin for every meal. That's what we all did in college, yeah? Anyway, I could live my life to this music, and you know what? I kind of have, so enjoy the feels, people. Now, at the time of writing, it's probably too early to tell if Legion will be one of the all-time great expansions or not. It's not like, say, the remake of RoboCop, where you knew that was going to be shit the second you ever heard it existed, or bacon flavour ice cream, which, frankly, was always going to be the best thing that ever happened to your mouth. But one thing we can pass judgment on already is the music, and it's fair to say Legion is an absolute fucking stormer. The music in Legion isn't just good, it's unbelievably good. It's the kind of music that makes you remember why you love this stupid ass game about dragons and ridiculous shoulder pads so much in the first place. And the piece that holds it all together is Anduin's theme. Yes, that's right, Anduin, the World of Warcraft character who until now has been about as useful as the lifeguard at the Olympic swimming. Anduin has got his own theme, and it just so happens to be the biggest, baddest, most awesome music ever. And there's loads of different variations on Anduin's motif throughout Legion, including the super sad version that plays at Lion's Rest. But I don't think it's really even an Alliance theme, because it does hold that entire game together like glue throughout. So we're going to dive straight in with the most exciting version. Honestly, if this doesn't get you pumped for killing demons, then, well, you're probably a demon and you should burn. So here it is, number 1. Out of all these amazing pieces we've enjoyed in the last 2 videos, and all the wonderful pieces that never even made it onto the list, this is what it all comes down to. My favourite piece of music out of hundreds of hours of brilliant music. And in our opinion, at least, the number 1 best music in World of Warcraft ever. Grizzly Hills. Now we're going to listen to this properly in a bit, but for me, it just doesn't get any better than Grizzly Hills. From the second you step into that Wrath of the Lich King zone and that folky violin starts playing solo, you know you're in for something special. Now compared to some of the other music on this list, there's nothing too meaningful about Grizzly Hills. It's not epic or exciting, it's not connected to an iconic character or event, it's just a genuinely beautiful piece of music and playing in a genuinely beautiful zone. It's impossible for me to hear this without also hearing the soothing dull thumps and sawing noises from the lumberyard, and to think of the hours that I lost just exploring this incredible place, this area of sanctuary in the middle of the harsh wastes of the rest of Northrend around it. It was, I admit, hearing this music again that brought me back to WoW after a life-enforced break, and it's the music and the zone that will always mean the most to me personally. Do I love Grizzly Hills because of the music, or do I love the music so much because of Grizzly Hills? As usual in this game, it's a combination of both. That perfect symmetry of the audio and the visual. Whatever becomes of this game, whatever happens to World of Warcraft in the future, one thing will always be the same. One thing will remain certain. My Hearthstone is always set to Amberpine Lodge. And there we have it, our top 10 best pieces of music from the World of Warcraft. Thanks for joining us on this 2-part odyssey. Thanks to all of those who chipped in with their own favourites and suggestions on our Twitter at Taliesin Evitel. And thanks to, of course, to these incredible guys, who are my genuine real-life heroes. It says everything that we could easily make another top 10 with completely different tracks, and it would still be just as good with that spoiled for choice. And I'm really, really sorry if I've left any of the appropriate composers out of that list, sorry. But what do you think of our top 10? Let us know in the comments below. Tell us why we are totally wrong, and shout at us for not including Lament of the Highborn. We probably deserve it. But whatever the QQ, I hope you have enjoyed the video today. If you did like it, you can like it if you like, and subscribe. If you subscribe, then I promise we will make more videos. If you didn't like it, downvote the shit out of it. And remember, my name is Taliesin. Cowley. No, my name is Taliesin of Taliesin and Evitel. Check out some more of our videos on screen now. But until next time, team, keep humming those tunes, wipe away those tears, and cheerio.